Reservation Dogs Season 2, Episode 10, I Still Believe. It's bittersweet, guys. I can't believe this season is already wrapped. I mean, we wait a year, and then the season goes by just like that. But it's worth it. This show is just a brilliant work of art. You know, it's really a masterpiece, and I'm surprised that everyone in America is not watching this show every week. But more for us, you know, I've enjoyed connecting with you guys. The show is firing on all cylinders. I mean, from comic genius in each episode to the political conversations above the surface and under the surface in each episode, to the soundtracks of each episode, which are like a music education. They take you through different genres and time periods of music. It's just incredible, you know. Does anyone know when season 3 drops? Do we have to wait a whole year? Before we jump in, I want to send, you know, my prayers and warm wishes to anyone on the East Coast that's affected by Ian, anyone that's in the path, or anyone that even has family that's affected. If you are in Florida, drop me a comment and let me know how you are and if you need anything. If you've gone on this journey with me so far, you know, make sure you're subbed, because we're going to stay on this ride for season 3. This episode opened with really reflective folk music. Just beautiful. If they release a soundtrack, it's mine. From Greasy Fry Bread on down, it's mine. But it's really beautiful and reflective, and Daniel is reading the letter that he wrote. I couldn't hold it together. I started crying because, you know, a lot of it was whimsical. It was about getting his driver's license. But the essence of it was about keeping his heart together. As he was sitting there in the classroom, he was surrounded by his chosen family. And even though later on in his journey he felt chaotic and wasn't able to feel secure, in that moment we were able to see a glimpse in a moment of his life where, you know, he felt pure happiness and protection from his friends. And that was just a beautiful moment, and I cried. But he wants the dogs to go to California, to plant their feet in the sand, and to see Alora smile, you know, to see the weird trees, the Joshua trees out in the California desert. And reading those words gave the dogs the juice, the adrenaline that they needed to get it done. You know, they go and, I mean, with Jackie, the dogs and Jackie are on a mission. They're going to get Alora's grandma's car out of the impound. I was thinking as the guy was, you know, just letting them have the car, that, you know, he's got a spirit guide. And I think maybe he was guided and told that his part in this journey was to just get out of their way, you know, and let them go. But, you know, the barriers have fallen away, and it's a straight path to California. There's kind of a farewell at the reservation, and Jackie says, you know, I hope you guys make it. I kind of wondered why Jackie didn't go, you know. Now, I get logistically there isn't that much room in the car, but I kind of thought she would tag along. Does anybody know why Jackie wouldn't go? Is she working? Is something going on that would keep her from going? That was interesting to me. But they hit the road, and it's a straight road to California. A couple of times they played with us, a couple of times when Bear pulled out the money, and when he's talking to the medicine man, when he's, you know, putting his money into the machine at the stop, and he gets that bad fortune that says, turn, you know, pave a new way or you're gonna die. I kept saying, nope, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. And kind of the fact that here we are, just in Tulsa, and we've stopped and we're, doing things. I just didn't think that they were going to make it. But they psyched us out, and they get to LA. And one of the first things that they say is, it smells like shit out here. And I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years, and, kind of the overcrowding and the smells and, a lot of that is what ran me away from that area. But, when you're bright-eyed and, it seems like paradise, you don't even care about that kind of thing. But they're there, they're eating at a diner, and I kept thinking, don't leave the money in the car. I just knew it. Willie Jack goes out to get the money, and the car is gone. Not only is the car gone, their stuff is gone. The money, all that money that Bear worked hard for, is gone. And Daniel's letter is gone. They've driven out here. They're going to put the letter in the ocean as a tribute to Daniel. And it's gone. And I struggled with that, for a moment or two. Until I realized that I was hanging on to the material things, and then I started getting emotional again. The mission had already been accomplished. The car was there to get them together and to get them to California. It served its purpose, and we didn't need it anymore. The money was there for them to feel secure enough to get there, and they'll find their way. They may find the money in the car again, but they didn't need it anymore. They were there. And the letter was just a guise. It was nothingness to get them together and to get them, there as a team together. And when I realized that all of those material things that they had lost was just nothingness, and they were the prize, getting there together and having his heart together, having his life completed was what was so important. And I just cried and, cried again. But then we meet White Jesus. Oh my goodness. He was so funny. And, he says he's going to lead them to the beach and follow me. Oh my goodness. I kept thinking that is so crazy, but having lived in Los Angeles, and anyone that has been to Los Angeles and Vegas and some of those places where there's a lot of personalities, I was thinking that it's kind of not accurate, but it's kind of not far-fetched for something like that to happen. It's so densely packed, and there's so many different weird personality types there. Folks have left the farm and come to California to follow their dreams, that you get all types. When I was like 21, 22, people were trying to sell me dreams left and right in Los Angeles. So as I was watching this, I kept thinking, this is a normal Los Angeles experience. But it was odd, he leads them basically to Skid Row. And, I didn't understand it. I was irritated. I kept saying, what's the point in being here? And it took until after the episode for me to put thoughts together. I think it's so poignant to see folks that are relocated each and every night. Folks that don't even have the surety of where they're going to sleep, the next night, if they're going to have a meal. It's an artist, Skid Row, it's a community of artists and free thinkers, and folks that care for one another. And the police just terrorize them, chase them from wherever they find a safe haven, each night, each week, every couple of weeks. You get comfortable in a spot, and here they come and raid the area. And so maybe it was important for, our team to see that maybe they don't have it so bad. Maybe maybe there are other perspectives out there, or maybe there's, maybe there's things even in my own situation to be grateful for. That was a better way to say it than people have it better than, worse than me. Maybe there's something in my situation that I can look at and say, wow, I do have a little bit more surety, than these folks that have to cling and find community with each other in the streets. But when he takes them to this manger, I just cracked up laughing. And the place gets raided, and they continue on their journey. When they got to the beach, I'm just a sappy person. I just started getting emotional on my own. And Willie Jack starts singing Tom Petty, Free Fallin', I think. Taika Waititi just has this love for Americana music. And it's just so interesting to be doing an indigenous show and have such a love for country and folk and Americana. And it's true to form to me. It's the kind of music that I love as well. But Jesus' prayer was really beautiful to me, in that he was trying to find the meaning and the beauty in the moment. And please tell me that, we did this right, and we did this for a reason, and that this is what you wanted us to do. And I kept thinking that they don't even realize that them just being there, being together, holding hands and embracing, that they had put Daniel's heart back together. And, when he showed up there on the beach, in their embrace, oh my goodness, it was one of the deepest sobs, I think, of this season. And White Jesus saw us off. White Jesus saw us off, and, we were played out to I Still Believe, which is a musical reference from a 1987 film, The Lost Boys, which may be an interesting reference as well for Daniel's life and the path that he took. But, there's poetry and symmetry in so many different ways and aspects of this show. It just gives me chills to think about. Sometimes, an hour after the show, I've already done my video and I've, posted my snap reaction thoughts, and then something else just clicks to me, and then I'm like, wow, this show is genius. It's going to be one I pull off the shelves, when I'm older and share with my kids. It's just, it's been a joy. And like I said, I can't wait until season 3. I hope you guys stick with me. It's going to be a blast, just like the season was. What did you guys connect with in this episode? So much for me. Alora's hesitation to let Daniel go. She held on the longest, It was so touching to me, and I started boo-hooing again. Listen, I had to pause and keep going back. I had to keep wiping my eyes, pause, and keep going back. I think I've watched this episode 3 times just from, pausing and crying and having to go back and hear what they said, because I couldn't hear through my tears, and I certainly could not see. But her hesitation to let him go, and even though Bear says, it's not the end, we're not letting him go, we're just letting go of the pain, which made me emotional. It did feel like a completion of his life. It did feel like an ending in a way. And so I understood, and I felt chills, there with her standing at the end, But anyway, what did you guys pull out of this? The music is just inspiring. The comedy is inspiring. The political conversations that this inspires. You guys have elevated me and made me a better person, a more well-read and understanding person. And I thank each and every one of you for going on this journey with me. Again, make sure you're subbed to Justin Talks Film. And until our next video, I'll see you soon.